It's back out onto the road for the Mountaineers this week as they take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati comes home after two very important road wins, and now they'll take on a West Virginia team that obviously is coming off a disappointing loss to Louisville. When you went back and looked at that tape, what was the one thing in that Louisville game that just stung and left you in a foul mood?
Well, there is the final score, obviously, and and the field goal thing was such a big play that could have gave us 3 points and they get 7. The ball bounced exactly their way and they ended up getting a 10-point swing. I mean, that's the one that just stands out. But after looking at the tape, I mean, there's offensive side of the ball, there's defensive side of the ball, and there's the rest of the special teams that had a chance to dominate their side of the ball to where you can overcome a play like that. And the fact that that didn't happen on all three sides of the ball is disturbing. You
said several times during your press conference this week that you may just travel with a limited number of players to Cincinnati. You have been traveling in excess of 70. You mentioned the number 55 to 60. With that being said, you're seeing something that you're not happy about. What is it?
Well, the energy, everybody being bought in, everybody being on the same page, everybody trying to accomplish the one goal that is a victory, and everybody has a role and everybody has a job to do, and they need to do it to the best of the ability. And if they're not doing that, then we're probably better off leaving them at home.
When you put the tape on and you watch Cincinnati, what stands out on this defense, which has done a complete 180 from where they were a year ago?
Effort. Their scheme's sound. They don't do a whole bunch. Unlike some of the other teams that we faced this year that do a whole bunch of stuff to where you got to practice hard for it and you got to get the specific looks and you hope that you get it hatted up. They're pretty basic with what they do. And that's a tribute. That's a coaching. That's a tribute to their coaching because they're able to get just a tremendous amount of effort out of their guys. And when you play with that kind of effort on that side of the ball, you're going to get turnovers. You're going to create turnovers. You're going to create good things to happen. So they play with a bunch of effort.
On the other side, you take a look at your offense. Gino throws for over 400 yards. You put up 35 points. What did you like? What must you do better this week?
Well, we sputtered in the third quarter. We had, it was a 0-0 game at halftime, and we got them out, and defense played well, got a turnover right off the bat, got some 3 and outs, and we didn't capitalize on that. That was a time where we could have really, we could have accelerated the point to where we could have got the victory at that point, and we sputtered on one side of the ball. And in the fourth quarter it flipped. Offensively we did some good things on a couple of different drives, but then defensively we give up a 8-minute drive. So we're not playing well together, which is something we got to fix.
That's kind of been the story this season, hasn't it? When you've had a team and that momentum and that wheel is kind of shifting there and you almost are ready to lock them down, you can't do it. LSU game, I go back to the kickoff return when it's 27-21. You go back to Syracuse, kickoff return. This week, unable to convert there when they had it off the turnover. Yeah,
which again, it goes back to I want guys that are all in this together. And I want guys that are going to root for each other and pull for each other, and when it doesn't work out, be disappointed together. So that's a work in progress, and we're still going to keep talking to the guys about that, but we want to fill our roster full of a whole bunch of guys that are determined to win as a team.
Well, hopefully a unified effort will get it done this week.
We're going to try.
And Mountaineer defensive coordinator Jeff Casteel joins us. West Virginia takes on a Cincinnati team that, Jeff, you're very familiar with in that. Butch Jones, a former WVU assistant, now in his second season at UC. What's the biggest difference when you take a look at this offense from last year and then you put on this year's tape?
Well, I think they're running the ball better than what they were last year, and I think they're probably spreading the ball around amongst their receivers a little bit more. But Zach Collaros is a great player. He was a great player last year, and he's obviously still playing well. But I think they have a little bit more around him, and Butch has really done a good job, and I think the kids understand what he wants from them.
Does playing against Teddy Bridgewater of Louisville last week help you this week in that both of those QBs have that elusive characteristic? Yeah, a little bit. I think that, and Zach will probably pull it to run a little bit more than Bridgewater, but both the same type of kid, and Zach makes a lot of plays
off extended plays that he creates, and you know, we were scared to death of him last year, and so, you know, and we'll have to do a good job in keeping somebody around him, and so he can't get comfortable. They've got, you know, they got guys. They're going to screen you. Butch does a really good job of screening you, and you know, trying to control, you know, how much heat you can get on him and get rid of the football. So, you know, they do a good job. It'll be a challenge.
Take a look at them when they play. They seem to have swagger back. I mean, when Brian Kelly was there, they had a little something to them. I think last year they were kind of a bit befuddled. And this year, are you noticing that they've got it back?
Yeah, I think they're playing. Their kids are playing hard, and you know, and I think again that's a tribute to their coaches, and you know, I think the kids are really buying into what they're selling down there, and they are. They're playing hard, and you know, we need to go down, and we've, you know, played well against them the last 3 or 4 years. Those have all been good games. So I'm anxious to see how our kids go down and go about their business down there.
Your nose guard's putting up some big numbers. The last 2 games, George Wright's coming up 5 tackles in each of those 2 games. Those are uncharacteristically big numbers for a nose guard.
Well, you know what, George is getting better, and you know, he's taken upon himself to make some plays, and you know, he's getting a little bit more comfortable in there, and so, you know, that's good to see. He's going to have to continue to make some plays for us to finish out the next 3 weeks, and you know, we've got a chance to do what we need to do. We just have to, you know, we got to finish out here for 3 weeks.
As we wrap it up, what's the biggest key you tell your team, your unit this week going out there to slow these guys down? Well,
we've got to play hard and be physical, and you know, attack people, and if you do those things, you know, for the most part, you know, turnovers are going to happen. You're going to get negative plays, and you know, and play reckless, and you know, I think that a lot of times throughout the year, these kids have been, you know, not as aggressive as we would like them to be, and probably as they would want to be, and so they're still learning their craft, but you know, hopefully we can put it together here the next 3 weeks.
Sounds like a plan, Jeff. We wish you the best.
All right, Tony.